are here with Jennifer Rice, and Jennifer has agreed to do this great interview with me so that we can get to know her and her area in Indianapolis, and about real estate in that area and how she got started. So, Jennifer, please tell us all about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I just love you. Um, we talk every week, and you are just the most amazing realtor out there. So, thank you so much for having me. So, my name is Jennifer Rice. I service the Indianapolis area and all of central Indiana, which is basically Indianapolis and all the surrounding suburbs.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into real estate. I'd love to know how people got started. What brought you to this career?
Okay. Well, good question. So my previous career was in hotel management, hospitality, and I was there for quite some time, many years, and then, COVID happened and everything changed in all of our worlds. Well, as the hospitality industry wasn't going very well at that time. People weren't traveling and things. So, I had a friend who was encouraging me. She had lost her job too and was like, "Hey, we should actually do this." And I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know much about sales but I talked to my husband and I said, well, let's go for it. So I did it that and I got my license. I started the classes in 2020. I got my license at the beginning of 2021 and here we are today.
Wow, awesome. So just a little bit under 5 years in the business. So how is it
That's right.
hard for you?
I love it. I was talking to someone yesterday kind of about the similarities between hospitality and real estate, and they are very similar because our goal, and you know this because you are so wonderful with your clients, our goal is to serve our clients, and in hospitality, I always say that's what I was made for, to serve people, to serve others. And so I feel like real estate is just a good fit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And you are really great at servicing. I've gotten to know you so well. And I think that you're an awesome real estate and how you realtor and how you handle your clients. We talk about it all the time. So tell me, why would someone move to your area?
Yeah, great question. When people hear Indiana, sometimes they're like, what do you have there in Indiana? Well, if you don't know, Indianapolis is in the Midwest. We're located, next to Illinois and Ohio. And, when people think of Indiana, they think of corn, they think of farming, they think of the Indy 500. But, what else do we have? People move to this area because the Midwest and Indiana, for sure, we have a very low cost of living. Um, if you want an easy life, a life where, again, the cost of living is low, this is a great place to be. We have low property taxes. You know, we are a big city, but we're not as big, of course, as Atlanta or Boston or places like that. So, the way of life that we have is a lot easier than some of those other bigger cities.
Okay, yeah. So with that being said, what do you see mostly as a real estate agent? People, your clients, are you looking at more buyers or more sellers? Do you work with more out of state buyers? And tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, well, so I probably work pretty evenly with buyers and sellers. I work with both of those. And, right now, Indiana in general, but specifically Indianapolis or central Indiana, we are in a seller's market. Right now, I was looking yesterday in our area because I was talking to a seller. In our area, we have 1.2 months of inventory, which is very, very low inventory here. And I think the reason is because it is such a low cost of living here. People want to move here. I do have lots of clients who are moving. There's lots of reasons people are moving. I'm seeing number one, people are wanting to buy investment properties. Again, Indy and surrounding areas is cheaper than, say if you're in California, you're going to say, wow, these prices are amazing. So a lot of those are from out of state. We have people who are looking for a second home, maybe closer to their kids. Maybe their kids moved to Indiana for some reason for a job, and maybe they want a second home close to the grandkids or kids. That's a big reason I've seen. And I've talked to a lot of people, and you have too. That's just a huge reason that people are moving or getting another property in general. And I have a lot of people right now who I've been focused on working with who are downsizing, people who are empty nesters, people who are aging that may want to downsize into a one-story, maybe patio home or a ranch, just because it's an easier way of life.
Yeah, I get that. Same here in Charleston area. People are moving for the same reasons. Well, tell me, what is your medium home prices there?
Right. So when we talk about a low cost of living, the city of Indianapolis, our median price is 260, which is an amazing opportunity for people out there. There's so much to do here in Indianapolis, but now when you get to the suburbs, which is maybe, 5, 10, 15 minutes north of Indianapolis, for example, that's a big area that I serve. The median price point goes up to around 469.
Oh,
So, of course, there's homes you can get lower, more expensive. Of course, we have a football team here and things like that. So, of course, those homes are going to be quite a bit expensive. We do have gated homes and, $5 million homes, but for the majority, between, 260 in Indianapolis and 469 in the suburbs.
okay, okay. Do you find that one area is more popular than the other?
I do. And I would say that the north side of Indianapolis, which is Carmel, Fishers, Noblesville, Westfield, that is a very, very popular area. We have tons of new builds in that area. You have to understand that, in Indiana, we have a lot of land. So it opens up opportunities for so many new build communities, those senior communities, those new awesome townhomes. And I saw actually in Charleston, they're building some of those cool townhomes. I saw one of your videos yesterday. Those are really popular.
Yes, yes, yes. So you guys have similar builds out there.
Yes, I'm seeing a lot of new build senior communities, which we need.
Okay, okay. So yeah, and speaking of seniors, is your city better for families, young professionals, or retirees, or all?
I think, honestly, when you think of Indiana, yes, it gets cold in the winter. I will say the past few years, we haven't really gotten a lot of snow, to be honest. It hasn't really been as cold as it has been in the past. So, however, people move to Indiana for different reasons. So, a lot of people move here because we have a lot of corporations here. In the Midwest, it's easy for a company to move somewhere where the cost of living is low. They can get a lot of workers. So, a lot of people, it's great for families because, of course, they may be transferring here for a job. Downtown Indianapolis is the headquarter for Eli Lilly, which is pharmaceuticals. We have lots of different companies that people would move here for. So, yes, families, young professionals as well. Salesforce is the headquarters is here. Lots of young professionals in that tech and, field. Um, you know, then also there are, believe it or not, there are older people who don't go to Florida, or Charleston or things like that. They just stay put. These are the hardy, they're willing to stay here in the Indiana winters. But so a lot of people downsizing as well. So, I think people move here mostly though for the cost of living. So I really, work with all of those type of clients.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that you have a variety of different type of clientele there. And do you consider yourself a person that specialize in you specialize in one, even though you work with all?
I would not say that I specialize. I think as time goes on, I'd really like to start helping more people who are looking into downsizing because I think that's just such a huge population that, we may not even have enough people to help those people. So that, and I really do think that they need someone who can serve them, who can guide them, and help them plan for the future. So that's an important population to me.
Okay, well, I understand that. So switching gears a little bit, you talked about the Indy 500, and so tell me, is there one specific annual fun event or community tradition that makes your area stand out?
Well, and you said it. I think the Indy 500 is probably the biggest event. It is the biggest event in the world, actually, 400,000 people in one place at one time. And this year we had the Indy 500 at 1 o'clock p.m. And then in the evening we had the Pacers Eastern Conference Finals downtown. So Indianapolis is known for hosting many very, very large conferences. We've had the Super Bowl here. We host some of the largest conferences in the United States. Believe it or not, there's a very, very, very large conference called Future Farmers of America. And yes, go ahead and laugh. Go ahead because yes, we there's a lot of farmers here, but these are kids from all over, all 50 states. The headquarters is here, but that's a convention that has hundreds of thousands of people. And we do a good job of hosting events. I don't know if you've ever been to Indiana, but we in the Midwest, we are very hospitable, and I think that's why people like having events here.
Oh, well, that sounds great. That sounds like Charleston, so I think it would be
Yes.
good. That's awesome. I might have to come and visit you out there.
Wait, it sounds like Charleston, but nowhere near as fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll have to come and check that out and see.
Okay.
So tell me, why is it you think it's important to work with a local expert like you when relocating?
Yeah, we know all the areas. Of course, I was born and raised here. We know about all the schools, any potential questions that you have. We know the areas that, we just know all the areas and we know how to guide you. And, we do have that local knowledge. So say you're coming from out of state, we know all the tips and tricks. We can give you everything you need.
I get that absolutely. Is there one thing that you would want buyers moving from out of state to know?
I think since we have such a low inventory here, I think they need to be patient because many times, if a buyer's coming for the weekend, for example, to take a look with their family, and then they want to go back home and think about it, that home may be gone. It's not, we were a few years ago, as you know, in multiple buyer situations where people were, fighting over homes. Um, it's not quite as bad now. The median days on market here is about 6 days. But, if you are thinking about coming, you know, make sure that you talk with your agent and really drill down exactly what you want. So when you go look at those homes, you can make a decision right away because sometimes when you go back home and think about it, that house is going to be gone.
Yeah, think too long, it's gone. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have some fun. And this is just for fun.
Oh, okay.
Tell me if a movie was made about you, your life, who would you play?
Oh my gosh. I don't know why. So this is not coming from me, but people say, because I have one dimple, that I look like Jennifer Garner. Now, I have never seen that. I do not believe that at all, but I guess that's who would play me. I don't know. I'm not, she's a model, so like
See that? I could see that. I never thought about that, but now since you said that,
me
yeah,
neither.
I could
When I tell you at least 2 to 3 people a week, like, or, it's
really
wild.
good
I
observation.
don't know.
Okay, so now I can definitely see that. So I'm going to remember that for sure. Perfect. So tell me, what song would be your theme music if you walked into a room?
Oh man, I love 90s music. So probably something like Salt and Pepper. Listen, don't play around I mean like push it or something. Like something fun because I'm sorry, we need to have fun, okay?
Yes, I love it. I love it. That is awesome. I love Salt and Pepper. So what is your guilty pleasure TV show or, or movie?
Oh my gosh. Let me think. Well, I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but my favorite movie is so weird. Like people will not know it unless they know it. Um, it's called Anne of Green Gables. It's like a 4-hour movie. I'm not big into movies, but it's just such a good movie. So don't ask. For those who know, they'll know. Okay.
Yeah, I never heard of that one. 4 hours? Whoa, okay. I might have to check that one out. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Mexican food. I don't care what it is. Chips and queso,
Mm,
tacos.
okay, I like it. What is your dream
Yes.
vacation? All expense paid.
Well, at one point, I really, really, really wanted to go to Egypt more than anything on the face of the earth. Like I had talked about it, dreamed about it. I don't know. It's not that I'm over that, but there's so many places to go. Um, I really want to go to these amazing places that I see on TikTok. And yes, I'm addicted to TikTok. I'm going to admit it right here. Like I've seen these amazing places like in China where they have these amazing cities and like architecture. Like I just want to go see anything. So my dream vacation would be anywhere with a big city.
Got it. Okay. All right. So one quick question. I mean, one quick answer with these really quick. Mountains or beach?
Okay. Beach,
Dogs or cat?
dog,
Texting or a phone call?
text.
You're an early bird or a night owl?
Early.
Like
Mm,
early? All right. Well, thank you so much.
yes.
Is there anything else you want people to know about your area, you, in general? I'd love for people to get to know you like I know you, because if I have anyone moving to your area, you are the first person I think of.
Oh, you are so amazing. So I think for Indianapolis, if you really are truly looking for a very easy way of life, we have it very good here. We don't have the traffic that the big cities have. Yes, once in a while we have traffic. Um, the cost of living is low. For the most part, the temperatures are fine. Like, yes, in the winter it can get cold, but that's just a few months. I mean, the rest of the year we have all the flowers, the beautiful fall leaves. That's another thing that brings people here. But if you just really want a way of life that's super easy, that's not complicated, I think Indiana would be a place that you could look at. And I want to tell everyone that if you are looking for the most amazing agent in Charleston, hello, she's interviewing me right now. And I've gotten to know her over this year and last year, and she is just amazing. Everything she does is so it's just so thoughtful and she is just the perfect agent for you. So
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you for that. I
yeah.
think the same of you. And so I just want to thank you again for taking the time to do this with me, and having patience with me on doing this because, my struggle.
You're awesome.
I think this was fun. I think it was great, and I appreciate you so much.